thinking into this one because I was watching with to hang out there when it was Virtus Pro. Or sorry, it was Liquid playing against Sleep to Awake, and there was a lot of mistakes. Unfortunately, Liquid were making a couple of like odd engagements that Hang was commenting on, saying like you're not sure why you'd go for that kind of engagement. So hopefully the time that Liquid have had after playing these 2 matches for them, hopefully in their eyes warm-up matches, they kind of ramp things up here into this first map.
I think it's always going to be different fighting the likes of Sleep to Awake and then a bunch of other teams, because as 2v2 is such an early game mode, people kind of, they approach it with their own spice, and we're seeing some variety already, but this can be map number 1, Virtus Pro, Team Liquid 2. I think Team Liquid, as an org, would very much like to see both of their teams make it into the final day, but they've got to get through Virtus Pro. 2 Titans to do it.
So we do have the Doom. So we have the Doom Visor for Liquid, and then the Visor Galena for Virtus Pro. Waz already being forced back here off of Bridge, going to retreat back towards Heavy as Mega's going to be picked up at the same time. They have the initial first 2 kills. Problem is, Waz still has no HP to really work with here, and every health bubble, every bit of scrap on the floor has just been taken away from him, so he eventually will be finished off.
I think the interesting thing in this situation is going to be kind of really what the 2 champions bring to the table that's different. So Visor, we even talked about this before the tournament even began, that we were probably going to see Visor guaranteed 100% of the time in some degree in a map, because he really is so good, but not only in the game, but he just fits 2v2 like a glove because of his utility, his movement, his stack, his speed. He's one of the faster champions in the game. Avec kind of keeping him in a bad place. Lands the rail shot, but the wall's a little bit in the way, so Wins dies a little bit later. It's not really going to help him though, but this 2v1's going to come through. But like I was saying, when you kind of weigh up Galena versus Doom, Galena's going to bring a lot of utility to the table, the ability to heal on demand, very, very useful tactic indeed. But when it comes to ultimately fighting for the power-up, where the fights in Blood Covenant are aggressive and fast-paced, the Berserk has historically been a very good ability to seize that control.
Speaking of power-ups, nice timing for the Mega to come up for Cypher, because Quad is now up in 18 seconds. And it looks like Avec has actually made a push in towards Bridge. They had them completely locked down on this lower location. Waz, he does have rail. Wins, unfortunately, does not. Wins, he's got the poverty weapons at the moment. He doesn't even have the rocket launcher or LG. Finally able to make his way through. Quad in 3 seconds time. He's been able to get the high ground with Waz, but it's going to be a big bout on the point.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate to go down so quickly when a power-up spawns, and Liquid temporarily controlling the quad damage. Doesn't want to overextend, because I mean, even when you get quad damage, you can't really reduce the damage that you take, you know, a couple of rails and you're still going to be dead.
That timing. He wanted to actually get Mega there, but he obviously wanted to push for kills, and he actually did delay himself specifically to go for Mega.
Cypher just straight up winning a quad damage 1 versus 1, by the way. What even?
It's unfortunate for Waz. I mean, he spent all the time going for Mega. At least with him dying there, the quad time has been wasted away. So it's not like he died early on the quad and gave Cypher a chance to pick up quite a few kills. And he knows that Cypher's going to be low because he did a hell of a lot of damage to him with quad anyways. It's not that bad of a loss for him, but obviously going to be a loss mentally. And probably a little bit frustrating for Waz.
I think, you know, Liquid, they would have wanted to have got more with that quad damage because they're the ones that are behind. I think if they were in front and they lost that, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because they had like a 4-frag league if it was, you know, switched on its head. Because it's not, they haven't really made any headway on that situation. But yeah, that might be undone. We see the protection spawning in 60 seconds. So we're going to see a bunch of fights before, and then obviously a setup.
And Waz and Wins trying to stick together, realizing that sprint out is going to be very difficult. Still being limited on rockets and rail for Waz. I feel like that's, I mean, the score kind of reflects it, but they haven't been able to pick up the weaponry they need to be able to duel up against Cypher and Avec, who, as you can see, trying to hold towards the rail side, trying to prevent them from picking up one of the most critical weapons on this map. Nice little trade there as Waz gets the kill and gets Heavy. He's got a good stack.
I actually like the call to not get greedy with the frags and just kind of try and go down, maintain a stack, and then maybe try and take a fight elsewhere, which he did do with that frag on Avec. It's not being greedy and going for like the 2 frags. Just because you got lots of health, you don't really have the position that you're after.
I'm wondering why he actually berserked there. I think he's maybe expecting Cypher to be next to Avec, so he's trying to run away to stay alive for the pickup. But Waz gets himself a nice double kill, so that does help close the gap. 11-9. Protection could be up in 3 seconds. The respawns, where are they? Cypher at rockets. Avec, he's going to be at nail gun. There's really no chance he can test this, and that's going to be Wins pick up the protection off the back with Mega there. And now finally, even though the first power-up for them did not work out, Wins is going to be given the opportunity to make something happen.
And now he's going to be looking out. He's going to be, I think, listening intently just in case he catches sight of someone trying to run away. Cypher goes down, understanding he's too weak to run away. He has to try and do as much damage as possible. Avec being pincered in, but fortunately he's got the stairs to run away to. Wins goes for the LG. He should be able to secure this frag, but he himself is very weak, and that protection is going to run out in about a second.
And he's like, oh, good rocket as well. Not easy to necessarily hit from the high ground, especially with the pressure he was under. Only about 50 HP at the time. Gets another Mega, so this momentum switch, kind of like a pendulum here between the two teams, because now Liquid has been able to get control. They had Mega, they had Heavy, they're finally able to get Rails, they're able to keep the weapons and a grasp of them to be able to combat Virtus.pro. Waz has gone down. Avic is looking really good against Wins, but there we go. That's the rail we need to see.
It's the awareness, I think. Landing that rocket underneath, knowing he's going to get a guaranteed knock-up. I mean, Visor isn't really a champion that can control his air movement, so that's going to be a guaranteed rail. Easy shot. That's some data, actually, for Avic, knowing that someone must have been nearby. It's quite a dangerous place to put the tone down. Sometimes when you're fresh off the spawn, you might not even realize it's there and you walk into it. Yeah,
and it's also very good if you're the one putting it there, because it's a spot that if you don't spawn next to that, you're not necessarily going to go around a ton, since you get to rail anyways. Kind of one of the most obscure points you can put it, besides Catacombs, in between Blood Pool and towards the double health bubbles above it. Wins another kill on a Cypher. Avic kind of by himself here over towards Mega, but he's going to actually control the spawn. And smartly enough, I think it was Waz. Yeah, Waz was backing away, realizing there's no point to contest this. You don't need to get too aggressive in moments that you don't, or you're not really forced to.
You kind of, you run the risk versus reward, right? I think the risk is that he would have gone up the jump pad, got a frag for free. They're already behind, so giving up even a single frag, especially now the power-up's about to spawn, not the best thing in the world. Wins would have been coordinating where everyone is. Waz goes in to try and be the distraction, but Cypher just setting up, actually not Cypher, sorry, Avic was setting up shop, and he got an easy double kill. I love the fact that he just really dug in his heels on that quad location, and his reward was 2 frags and then some.
Honestly, I think that Liquid probably could have won that fight if they had a little bit more stack going into it. Just full HP, just full natural stack actually would have been enough to push that in, because Waz Berserk got a good punch onto Avic, and Avic was on about 50 HP after that exchange. With Quad though, nice little triple shot with the heavy machine gun. Going to chase down onto Waz now. Look for the final frag. Quad will eventually wear out, but they're maintaining a healthy lead. It's not as big as probably they're expecting, but it is a lead nonetheless, and Liquid are struggling to kind of overcome this 5-kill deficit.
Actually surprised that Win stayed there. I mean, he would have known that the Mega was going to be respawning and Avic was definitely going to take it. Particularly seeing as those rockets actually were being spammed in that zone to keep him away. He kind of just stuck to his ground, and it felt like an unnecessary frag to me.
Oh, that's popping up Berserk again. And Wins will actually clean house here with the double kill with the nail gun. Good job by him to capitalize off of the position of Waz. Just the kind of taunt that he was able to pull off onto Avic and Cypher to force them both drop down towards Heavy to pick up that kill. Take a look at the scoreboard in a second. And we're going to have Avic get the kill on a Waz on the high ground, and Avic will get himself a double.
Well, I was about to say 1-for 1v1 on the LG, but then Avic kind of has other things to say. Avic has been a real star performer in this map so far, and it's not even because he's having that kill difference. I think he's just making a significant difference. His totems are obviously doing what Galena does best, but it's Avic's general decision making. I don't think he's overextending at all throughout the course of this map.
Oh, speaking of the man, well, I was trying to go to him to actually watch what he's doing. We'll tag along with him for a little bit just to see how the game is going. We have 20 seconds on towards power-up. I think eventually we'll be getting into the comms with one of the teams, since they both are speaking English. Just kind of hear the general mindset of the teams. But the protection, you're going to see Virtus.pro set up. Let's check out where Liquid are. Waz from downtown is actually trying to go for some rails, but Winston actually suiciding. So a little unfortunate they actually hit the rocket shot up close range, but they will be forced to give up another power-up here.
Yeah, normally I'd say at that time a suicide might have been very deliberate, so he has to stack fresh off the spawn. And Avic, I know he's really weak, but I feel like, yeah, I kind of suicided with like about 3 seconds or so left of the power-up. It's a bit too late.
100% a rocket into an enemy that caused that. But I mean, Avic and Cypher both extremely low HP, so there is a chance they could overcome the protection, though with it already being, 3/4 of the way done, there's almost no point anymore. And they actually might be able to punish Avic for getting aggressive.
I think Avic, he just wants to kind of do as much damage as he can while this protection's running out, because even if he doesn't get a frag now, I think it's going to make their lives a little bit easier later down the line when they try and secure these 2 frags. But I actually love the defensive play from Team Liquid too. They're understanding that they're trying to get picked off, so they're actually happy maintaining that distance game. And there you go. They actually won that fight right there.
Still 6 kill difference. Like, we've been kind of hovering at, like 5 to 8 kill difference between the two. The Liquid's been unable to get a power up, except I guess that's technically wrong. They've been able to get the first 2. They haven't been able to get a power play off of a power up. The first one, the quad that was secured by Waz, he waited around towards Mega, then eventually did die to Claws in the 1-on-1, and then Wins.
Oh, the combo. See ya later. Doomslayer. The Rocket plus Berserk combo is one of the most dangerous in the whole game, because it's almost guaranteed damage. Berserk locks on, it attacks really quickly. If it's close range, there's very little you can do about it.
It's true. And even sometimes Berserk can be Well, it can be good in a lot of situations, but unfortunately it can be bad in a lot of situations depending on how they juke, because you do, like you said, you do get locked on, and sometimes you don't actually close that distance enough to get the punch off, and you're locked into a set trajectory and potentially off a map if it's something like Awoken.
Okay, once we set up for this quad damage, we have some in-game comms featuring Virtus Pro.
Oh, he's heavy one. He's railed on heavy, and one bridge.
Can power up.
Close.
Can power up, please.
Closed.
I'm holding the guy on bridge.
One from TP.
Nice.
I'm 30 HP, man.
I'm with you. Take Mega. One was LG going Blackpool. Maybe Rocket. Nope. Nice. One Rocket going bridge.
Yeah, he's bridge still.
And Heavy's up, I think. Yep.
I think one was on rail.
Mega now, man. They don't have LG.
Yeah, one drop to you. But Mega now, take it.
Alright.
Mega. 55 is heavy. I'm already controlling rail.
Mega 12.
One
I'm
rocket.
Heavy.
Visor railed on bridge.
And one Rocket.
Yeah, Visor was railed on bridge.
One rail. Still rail. Catwalk might be. Okay.
Oh. Already here from TP1.
Heavy 27. Come to you.
One Mega, one pillars. He's railed. Nice. And one spawn on Nailgun.
I have to say, I really felt that was like 10 out of 10 coordination from the Virtus Pro game, because it wasn't just like the general stuff. It was understanding whether they've just spawned and they're not going to have certain weapons, and actually telling Cypher that they don't have LG, for example, so that he was then able to go towards the jump pad, use it risk-free because there was a Mega waiting for him up top.
Yeah, next level communication there. I don't think we've ever really heard any teams making those calls. Now I think about at least the ones we've been tuning in, at least the timings we've been tuning in. Protection's up in 20 seconds. Mega as well as Cypher just going to suicide before the actual pickup, I believe. Actually, no, that had to have been over towards Mega a little bit on accident trying to go for it. But he's going to be back here. Avi gets a nice little kill on the Waz with the rocket, and then Wins is going to be overpowered, at least forced out back into pillars. Even waiting for them to come to the teleport. And Berserk's going to be there. And Berserk will do some decent damage. And he also gets a second kill on a Cypher. Protection's going to spawn in Waz. Might even be able to turn this around, but they also have to keep in mind, look at the kill differential so far, 42 to 29. They're going to need a lot more than just that protection.
Indeed. I know the Megas, that's one way to start things. That's actually why Waz is going to be hyper-aggressive. Got to be careful going up against the likes of Virtus Pro, though, because that is a risk and a half. One LG and then someone else just pumping in the damage. I mean, he must have just been convinced he was going to win that fight. But you have to remember who you're going up against. Cypher and Avec in a 2v1, protection or not, is a dangerous fight to take.
Again, Avec back on the spawn. I feel like he's been timing the Heavy and Mega for such a long time. He's really kind of controlling it and making sure to, as you heard in the comms, say, all right, go to Mega, take it, go to Heavy, take it. Because they want to make sure to choke and to prevent Team Liquid from really having any sort of avenue to get back into the match. I mean, it's 44-29. Team Liquid haven't gotten a kill in the last 30 to 40 seconds. And it seems like they're going to be unable to.
And, I mean, only a few minutes until the end of this map too. It's just one of those unfavorable situations, I suppose, but it's definitely likely it's going to be a kill difference, that's for sure. 5 left with the rate of which Virtus Pro have been going, like, they're going to get this frag. I have no doubt. I mean, technically the comeback is possible. I just feel like Liquid, so they just need to have absolute perfection in their gameplay. They can't make a single error. One more frag goes down, which is just going to be exponentially more difficult. 4 frags left. They get 1, but plenty more left.
They got the high ground on bridge. Again, 4 frags. And with every kill that Virtus Pro get, just making it more insurmountable of a task to come back from. And I don't really think Team Liquid could potentially do it. It's only 3 frags left to go. There's a minute and 15 seconds to do it. They're down by 16. I think this one's almost pretty much done and dusted. Catch up.
2 more frags. Yeah, it's extremely reliable, and we've said this a million times over. This is the point where Liquid, I think, are going to, and they will be doing this because Team Liquid has such an amazing work ethic in the world of grinding Quake. They're going to be discussing their tactics. You know, they're going to be paying attention to this map. They're going to try and make sure they're nice staying limber, but they're going to have the next map in their mind, absolutely, even with this quad damage. Oh, there it goes.
Won't even get to do anything with the quad, unfortunately.
Not at all.
All right, so Virtus Pro will be taking our first map in the series. I would imagine I'm going to make the bet now that Awoken is probably the map that we're going to next.
It has been pretty common with these guys. It has been pretty common with these guys. One of the more popular maps. I know Liquid in general actually quite like the map, so
yeah,
wouldn't surprise me. And Awoken is, well, we did see Virtus Pro on this map against Sleep to Awake, and it was extremely dominant for Sleep to Awake because of certain ways. Obviously, it's the way they approach. Obviously, they had the god powers of claws, which obviously goes a long way. But still, I think when you've got the benefit of looking at maps and seeing, I think the manner of how teams lose on certain maps, if you can pick up on the strategies used against them, you know, I know it's easier said than done, but you kind of have a little bit more knowledge and information going into that map when you actually try and fight that team yourself.
So that's the downside for Liquid. They were playing while Sleep to Awake and Virtus Pro were playing. So it's not like they can sit in the crowd and watch and analyze what they can do against them and kind of come up with a strategy or devise something. They had to play at the same time. So it's kind of been more of like a mental thing for them, thinking about what potentially do we need to do against this team, like what we know from history about them as being a strong team. It looks like actually Blood Run we're going to be going to next.
Virtus Pro are, I know speak of the obvious, right, but Virtus Pro are very good at this map.
Yeah, and Virtus Pro had higher seeds, so Virtus Pro technically should have picked the first map, which was Blood Covenant, and this should be now Liquid's choice, which if we just saw Virtus Pro smashing Sleep to Awake on it, I'm a little bit worried.
The thing is, Blood Run is the map that we saw Virtus Pro more than bring it to Sleep to Awake, and Sleep to Awake being some of the absolute favorites to win this tournament. You can definitely go as far to say as this is a favorable map for Virtus Pro. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a 2-0 on this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I mean, Blood Covenant wasn't really even close. There was a couple of moments when they, you know, stayed within 5 frags of them, but there was that point of the map that hit that said, that I guess, you know, Virtus Pro kind of stepped on the gas and never looked back.
I'm really impressed with how much Virtus Pro have actually been able to bring it to this land so far. We know, you know, due to certain things, I know Avec wasn't able to play recently up before tour. We weren't able to see the guys in some community tournaments for various reasons. And we have had kind of, I think, limited information on what these guys are bringing to the table before this LAN has taken place, and now everyone's able to actually see them play. It really is remarkable how much they've improved from a few weeks ago even to now. This could be the final map, Virtus Pro and Team Liquid 2. Virtus Pro currently up 1 map in this bracket.
Keep in mind, winner of this will be going on through into tomorrow, into day 3, into our playoff bracket. So Liquid need to pick up this map. They want to keep their hopes alive, and even then they have to take another map against Virtus Pro. Avec on 7 HP, just basically sneeze on him and he's dead. And he's been able to stay alive and actually might even be able to restack up here at this rate.
Somewhat split up. It is going to be difficult for Avec to take these fights, but very fortunately indeed actually, he chose the fight when he knew Cypher was going to be public enemy number 1, which meant that even though he had low stack, he wasn't really at a huge amount of risk getting those initial rockets off. And if he can land the kill shots, doesn't matter how weak he was.
Just to show you really quickly why it's going to be on Doom yet again. It's not going to be seeing Visor out of him. Kind of something similar we've seen with Maestro EU, and that we've kind of been, I guess, criticizing and wondering why there hasn't been adaptations over to like the Visors. Because Visor Galena has just been proven this entire tournament how strong it is. 3-2. Avec, I think, is still yet to die. And maybe making a big play here towards Mega. Already have position on it.
And there was that certain point previously where Virtus Pro against Sleep to Awake on this map ran away with it significantly. I mean, it was close, and then snap your fingers and they've got a massive lead and the map was over. So I wonder if they can maintain. Waz, his knowledge of when to pop Berserk has been consistently very strong. I know he went down there because obviously LG versus Doomslayer is a bit of a difficult matchup to deal with. But normally when Waz is popping Berserk, he seems to be right on the money, at least for securing those frags. It's not going to be enough to secure this power-up though, as Virtus Pro get both a double kill and the first power-up of this map.
They technically got 4 kills because Winston Waz came in there before that fight, and then went in a second time. So, I mean, they're already netting technically 4 off the quad. Cypher looking for a 5th and a 6th, and he'll do just that. Now it's a 10-3 lead. The respawn in out of Waz, that's going to be frustrating for him.
If I had an award,
kill quad.
If I had an award for most unfortunate spawn of the tournament, that's got to be one of them. That is literally just a free frag there.
8. And he got 9. So if you include the 2 before quad, he got 9 kills in a row.
Highly impressive. And well, I mean, this is Cypher we're talking about, right? We talk about players that are really good at fragging. Cypher, one of the most legendary Quake players in the business.
True. And when I mean 9, sorry, not Cypher, but him and Avec together, because he has 8 points, so obviously he can't have 9. But well done by him. He'll be popping a site yet again. Avec did go down, and they're kind of in a recovery phase after the quad, since Avec was low and Cypher's low. Again, trying to do what Avec did before, trying to capitalize off of the focus being on his teammate. And he's been able to take away Heavy another time. Mega, I don't think they're going to transition there in time. And And that will be Liquid taking it. But look at the commanding lead they have. Almost 10 frags 3 minutes in.
We've seen throughout this tournament how significant an early lead can be. It seems very difficult, I think, to climb back. But at this level of play, I think it's not going to be as bad, purely because there's a lot of a level head on these teams. They're familiar with being in this kind of stressful situation. But if you lose a huge frag lead early on, when there's so much on the line, this can really play on your morale as a team, let alone anything else.
Yeah, especially Liquid, I think 100%. The thing is, like, both teams are world-class teams, so if you technically slow down or you pull your effort back, they can take that momentum away from you and run with it to actually catch up. And now they're only down 7. Cypher going to make that 8 yet again as Protection's up in 7 seconds. They're pushing it together. Waz by himself. The punch, as we were talking about before. It's great that it locks you on so you can't, so you have a better chance of hitting, but it also be the downside of you is you get pulled into a wall and then immediately got capitalized on.
Also, when you go in for the Berserker punch, you're kind of stuck into a set trajectory, and if you're going in for LG shots, it's impossible to miss that trail. You will hit 100% LG on a Doomslayer that's going straight towards you. And there's not even much you can do about it. The game has decided he will be going in that straight line. Cypher trying to get this frag, Avec picking up the pieces. Cypher taking a bunch of damage, but because he's got protection, he's not going to be too worried about the damage he's taken. They have a significant lead, and because of this power-up, they've been able to maintain that.
Yeah, unfortunately, not that many kills off of protection, but 11 kills, that's nothing to scoff at. You can see Waz at 39, Win's back on full HP, but he doesn't seem to be able to get any totems down that stick, which just kind of shows, or gives a testament to how well Virtus.pro are playing, because they're constantly moving around the map, they're constantly clearing out these totems. Cypher's constantly getting kills.
Oh, double.
He's got 12. He's got more himself than the entirety of Liquid so far.
He's very weak. I guess that's one thing, maybe weak. Oh, no, now he's dead. RIP and pepperoni. Right. Waz picking up one of those frags, but the deficit really is unchanged, with the exception of 1 kill.
That's a great timing on that push, too. He had Cypher there, he knew. Low on HP, but they're able to stop in heavy. A good rocket as well on towards Mega. Not sure who got it. I want to say Waz. Yeah, it's got to be Waz. He has a Berserk popped. Waz going to fall again. Virtus.pro have them read like a book. Not even like a hard book, like an easy kid's novel.
A newspaper.
I mean, those are sometimes hard to read. They got big words. I'm talking like more of a picture.
Did you just say a newspaper is hard to read?
There's big words sometimes.
You heard it here first, folks.
It's more like, you know, a child's bedtime story.
Maybe. I mean, I'll accept that analogy also, but to be honest with you, I mean, as we've been going on, like, Virtus.pro, it's only a few seconds ago, there was only maybe a 10 or 11 frag difference. And in like the space of less than 1 minute, it's just piling up higher and higher. Here we go, the power-up's going to spawn for another time. And it just looks like they are so unchallenged. Every time a power-up spawns, is Cypher, yeah, he's going to wait for the quad. There's no way he's going to take it. Avec has that stack.
All right, let's actually take a listen in with Virtus.pro right now as they go on this quad run with Avec.
TP. One more behind you. I will take this heavy. And rocket probably spawned. Okay.
I'm low.
I need LG. One rail. Rivaled one now.
1B.
Okay.
I'm dead.
He's railed on rocket.
Force Mega then heavy.
Yeah, I'm here on Mega. I took it.
Nice.
And I give the damage.
Dead.
RLTP, tribal now.
Yeah, I got heavy. Heavy 25.
I'm 15.
There is totem for you.
Yeah.
And here.
So yeah, you can hear Virtus.pro again, pretty clear comms. You can tell that Avec and Cypher both are actually communicating quite a bit here to make sure they relay all the information they possibly can. They realize that, you know, what's on the line.
And I think that's actually one of the things to point out is that we have heard throughout today that from the practice games and all the scrims and all the preparation before this tournament to now, Cypher in particular has been talking a lot more. You know, there's been a lot more communication from him. I know the strategy before was to kind of like support Cypher in particular. That was kind of like what they were doing a while ago. Granted, it wasn't, you know, as of a few days. But the progression of Cypher in 2v2, it's quite a black and white change, you could say.
This is like a story I always tell to Zoot, but it's nice to be able to mention it to you. I remember during the Italian Open back in November, when Cypher lost that, he felt like he was in like a really good shape in his life in terms of playing Quake Champions, and he could finally get his victory under his belt in the game finally. And he was really disappointed. He felt like he let his fans down, he let himself down, and once he did win the medium mark to land number 2, he finally had that weight taken off his shoulders. It wasn't a major land, but it was a land win nonetheless, and it was against Cooler. And now coming into this, I feel like he wants to continue that momentum. He wants to pick up another victory here, get another one under his belt to prove he's still one of the best players in the world, because he's had already a rough stretch in Quake Champions.
I mean, he had such an impressive result at Dreamhack Winter, but ultimately, oh, nice flip, bro. He couldn't get the land win at Dreamhack Winter. He was looking on amazing shape, but just kind of, fell right at the last minute. And this could potentially be his chance to not only take a massive win, but take it with his good friend Epic.
We did have protection taken by wins, but they really net much off of that. They're still down 14 frags, 24 frags if I can count. I mean, it might as well be 34 at this rate because we're only 9 minutes in, and Virtus.pro again are almost done with the map. Such an insane amount of kills, just like the Awoken map between Sleep to Awake and Virtus.pro. It's one of the fastest times you've ever seen that map completed.
Now, this is a stressful situation to be in. Team Liquid 2, they're on 17 frags. They have absolute huge amount of work to do. Virtus.pro with 10 frags left. Seeing as this is elimination map, Virtus.pro, if they win this, they are moving on in the bracket. Team Liquid 2 are out of the tournament. If you are a player here, you need to have absolute mental fortitude. Like, this can really, I think, break your mind in many, many ways in tournament. And they're going to get put to the test in the last moments of this map.
This basically comes down to quad. 30 seconds. Liquid have to get it. I don't see Virtus.pro losing this. Actually, I don't see Virtus.pro losing this if they get quad. And I mean, I don't see them losing this even necessarily if Liquid get quad, but that's what they're going to need. That's the first stepping stone to get themselves back in this and to have a better chance of potentially coming back, though time is running thin.
Let's have a look and see how Virtus.pro actually choose to take this attack. Avex going around the other side. He's going to be able to support Cypher. Not before Cypher's been able to kind of like disrupt a little bit, but not enough to survive. But they're both going to get fresh respawns. They're going to have one more shot to fight for this power-up.
They're able to get there in time, though.
Yeah, they did spawn pretty far away, didn't they?
I think they're just actually going to give this one up. Might come through, might try to go for some sort of
Oh my god, Waz is on 2 HP.
Yeah,
I mean, what shape are they in for this fight? Wins is okay.
And he's got Totem too, so he's going to be able to heal up Waz to give him some support. But does he have a... Yeah, he has a weaponry for it. He doesn't have a rail, but he still has the LG. Oh! And that's a teleport, or a telefrag kill here, with the Totem being there. And he gets a second.
Quad damage totems, my friend. I mean, they will insta-kill almost anyone. That was a bad situation for Avek, that there was a totem there and a quad rocket. He was dead regardless of what he did. If he teleported, he was dead. If he sat there, he was going to get rocketed.
I love how Rafa mentioned, by the way, that protection works on totems. I did not know that. I had no clue that actually works. I mean, it works with quads, so why wouldn't it work with protection?
It would make sense. It might be like a universal kind of like shared ability feature.
But I mean, for Peeker, he gets protection and quad, so it makes sense, and that's pretty ridiculous. That means totems are even harder to kill, and you kind of forget about that sometimes, especially when the protection's in play.
That's going to be particularly useful in 2v2, that's for sure.
Uh-oh. This could be a quick double kill here for Virtus.pro. Avi gets one for a trade.
Oh!
Double. And again, I think it's 1-for-1 or 2-for-1 trades are still not going to go in their favor. They have to have advantageous fights. They have to net themselves one kill without losing a single person.
And as these frags start to rack up, 6 more will send Virtus.pro through this bracket, out of the second group, and into the final day tomorrow. Cypher gets an impressive rail. He's going to stand true to his guns. Avek's going to be there causing problems. They could easily have got one frag there. Cypher's not going to be deterred. I mean, they will have to royally scrub to even have a chance of losing this map. And with the time left and the frag difference, it's one of those things where, is it possible?
Thing is, I'd say like maybe if it was like 3 minutes ago with like a similar scoreline that Liquid could do it if they keep playing the way they are now. But it's just there's so little time left that I don't think they can get another 22 frags in the next 3 minutes. It's just, it's going to be very difficult. Protection's coming up soon. Virtus.pro have already set themselves up for it, and Virtus.pro should be able to secure it because Liquid are going to be a little bit too slow for the push.
Oh dear. That's the word we're going to use here. Oh dear. This is not good news for Team Liquid at all. 2 more frags. Virtus.pro will be moving on, and they have the ultimate power-up to get the job done. Loads of rockets. There should be one frag, popping the Berserk mode to try and get away. I mean, he's going to try and help him out. Waz does manage to pick up Cypher, but I don't think that's going to be anywhere near enough. He could have gone left or right, goes either way. Protection and a Mega, who cares? Avek gets one. He needs one more, and Virtus.pro are going to be through this bracket.
Cypher's looking for it. I think it's going to be Waz stuck in the corner, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Virtus.pro going to be the second team coming out of Group B of Day 2.
Wow. Absolute wow. That was an impressive performance.
Absolute wow, yeah. I agree.
Absolutely wow. I think either one works. But to be honest with you, I think they're going to be really happy with that result. I think they looked really good over who could potentially be the team that is winning this tournament. Maybe. They looked really good against them in winners. And then in this lower bracket, in Group B, they were able to get that win, and now they're going to be making it through. A lot of people have been saying that Virtus.pro at this LAN in particular are dark horses of the tournament, and they are very much starting to prove everyone right.
We got a lot of respect from quite a few teams, like for instance Team Liquid gave them a lot of respect, saying that was one of the teams they really struggled against. Placed him in the top 3. Sleep to Awake did make quick work of him though. I wonder if coming into tomorrow that Virtus.pro can kind of collect themselves and maybe see what went wrong, but assuming that the way seeding works, the chance of them meeting Sleep to Awake in the semis shouldn't be possible. So that'd be a big favor for them. But that also does mean that, well, then Team Liquid would be the team they meet in the semifinals. So it doesn't really get easy.